Director of Ceremonies, Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Botswana, Dr. Mokgweetsi Eric Masisi, the Vice President of the Republic of Botswana, Res Lambatsokhwane, Honorable Minister Mtimkhulu and your wife, Honorable Bitibuli, Minister, Assistant Minister of Youth, Memamana. PSP, Permanent Secretary, President, and other permanent secretaries here present, senior government officials here present, all media houses here present. Distinguished guests, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, gentlemen. Oh, I failed to introduce my dear wife, Morwai. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you this evening, ladies and gentlemen, to the official launch of the most transformational project ever to be undertaken by this progressive government. It has been a long wait, with both officials of the Steve Harvey Global and government of Botswana burning the midnight oil to put this project together. Surely persistency, conviction, and focus do pay. The officials of this government and Steve Harvey officials were persistent. And here we are today, ladies and gentlemen. The partnership between the Botswana government and Steve Harvey Global is expected to catapult Botswana into the global creative economy. This is a project, ladies and gentlemen, which is expected to expose our creatives to the tutelage of some of the best mentors in the world. It is expected to yield productions of global standards that will position Botswana as a place to come to for riveting content production. This project is the fulfillment of promise that His Excellency the President made at the very start of his service as head of state to facilitate the creative industry. That we are at the juncture of things to happen. Ladies and gentlemen, mine was just to whet your appetite by way of welcome remarks. The main course awaits you as His Excellency the President and Mr. Steve Harvey engage in a conversation to unpack this project. With those few remarks, ladies and gentlemen, feel at home. Thank you for your kind attention. God bless all of us.
Thank you very much to our host, Minister for State President, Honorable Gabo Morwai, for those welcome remarks and really just giving us a bit of context as to why we're here today. Of course, the gist of which will be coming up a bit later on in our conversation with His Excellency the President and Mr. Steve Harvey. Now, at this point, to electrify the House a bit and to set the tone of the magic that is yet to come this evening, I'll be welcoming an artist who's coming here all the way from Tsabong, who is quite significant to the facilitation of the creative industry movement, as he's one of the beneficiaries of the Department of Broadcasting Services Roadshow, having emerged as one of the winners. Now, in a quick conversation with him earlier on, he says he benefited not only from the boot camps, but also from getting an opportunity to be exposed and positioned as a force to reckon with within this industry. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome once again, coming in from Tsabong, an Afro-pop musician, HRB Botizo. Please put your hands together as he makes it to the stage.
Hello, Botswana. HRB Botizo here. Are you feeling good tonight? Thank you, thank you. Oh, oh, eish, oh, oh, Tanto, oh, Tanto. Everybody, 1, 2, 3, let's go. Popolari na go reduce, na gina le we, na kiza rusi. Baby girl, I say get it bad. I get to know the way, na get go bad. Tell my way, tell my way, tell my way, tell my way. Baby, you are mine. Dilo za mudimu. Ela tegente kholo yesa go mudimu. Ene ka sela tsikana ka mudimu. Tell my way, tell my way. 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 Kini kiruti tase khase kare sa mo dula kirula ga yetsa lenyalo. Mame ba duti tase khase kare sa mo garo ba galala rona le rato. Kare ta di baratule ya ba itshwarele. Akimungo right bata ikatula. Kare gundule se maroga yana selalela nare. Linanga tiso ni bata go ale bote. Ka sausha wana khala botsane no ga ya maje musime na le wena re go bantse gilera era tola ma badi wani ndige libine kitilele ikatiso oh ole maiti so tumile ditabu tokota rumba sale gimute ene mawa kabilu iteba teba ngapeta ma uwele tani tuntale Everyone, 2, 3, let's go. Tema wena, tema wena. 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 Pato lagi gaga musere, simpula sima soy kana kire. Bato wana gismomotela, girobeti misubu wa mkogotela. Kemwana ya mchogomela, limtwe munate kisa sogolela. Oh, usalu fale rato, tuwa tati la matomu. Taluanya, atema wena, gana gita, laga wena. Rego bani gushe, pala mabisi tahuse. Leba motile, hagina liwena. Itala taka adifita rito baipitela Kagore khanye gipitela Khomasurusana Baturiatsana Kibua seswana da Kabata tinga momu wengi uhemela monsebe Kantile, terhasele, sakatile Tema wena Tema wena, let's go. Tema wena, tema wena. 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 Oh, oh. Thank you. It's HRB Botizo. Shout out to DBS.
Now, this is the kind of talent that was unearthed by the Department of Broadcasting Services Roadshow. May we please give a thunderous round of applause once again to Afro-pop musician HRB Botizo. Now, ladies and gentlemen, at this point, I'd like to indulge you in the following video, which gives us an overview of the facilitation of the creative industry project.
The broadcasting industry sector. We are the engine of the creative industry and we grow the industry. We are Broadcasting Services. At the heart of this drive is the magnificent mass media complex located in the capital city of Gaborone. It is fully equipped to world-class standards to provide best services. This complex houses the Department of Broadcasting Services and Department of Information Services. Broadcasting Services prides itself with 2 radio stations and 3 television channels. Today, we unveil a remodeled auditorium to be the 4th production studio capable of live audience-based productions. This studio is equipped to output 4K UHD quality standards. This facility is at the heart of the Ministry for State President to kickstart the facilitation of the creative industry for purposes of skills empowerment.
As a ministry, we executed this project in 2 folds. Firstly, we had to find the most suitable content projects that will significantly impact the number of aspiring local filmmakers for skills transfer and create value chains within such projects through Steve Harvey consultancy. And secondly, there was a need to capacitate the Department of Broadcasting through remodeling of the auditorium and procurement of appropriate equipment as the key vehicle to this project, to be ready to capacitate and to facilitate the creative industry. As a ministry, we are proud to unveil the new DBS brand to create a conducive environment for the industry to thrive as the new driver of the economy.
In the process of developing the DBS brand, we needed to come up with what we call a brand architecture, meaning whatever comes under the DBS brand must be in uniform with the mother company, which is Department of Broadcasting Services. So we had a chance to also work on RB1, we had a chance to also work on RB2, the radio stations. So basically what we needed to do mostly was declutter the previously existing brands and like I said initially, create something that is more modern.
UPIC TV is Botswana's first commercial subscription-based video-on-demand platform owned by Bofinet. So as Bofinet through UPIC TV, we are able to assist the Department of Broadcasting Services to develop and implement their IPTV strategy. As you look throughout the world, everyone is moving towards digitalization. So through this IPTV strategy, we will be able to assist the Department of Broadcasting Services to attain their digital migration process and digitalize their offerings. In so doing, they will be able to broaden their access to information and the content that they are providing as Department of Broadcasting Services. Also, the IPTV service is also a cost-effective way to distribute content and be able to reach a wider audience. Because if you look at Botswana, through the broadband strategy, Botswana has already connected high-speed internet connectivity throughout the country through initiatives such as smartboards. People will be able to access this IPTV services from those areas that already have been connected to smartboards. On the other hand, this will be able to contribute to job creation, especially among the youth that we know that they are mostly into creative arts.
On the 20th of March in 2023, MultiChoice Botswana and the Government of the Republic of Botswana signed a Memorandum of Understanding, which showed our commitment as MultiChoice to providing technical support and content development to the Department of Broadcasting Services and to Botswana at large. The purpose and the objective of this Memorandum of Understanding was essentially to show our commitment to playing a positive role in growing Botswana's local creative industry. The idea is to do this through skills sharing, through the wealth of expertise and knowledge that we have at MultiChoice Africa Holdings and the MultiChoice Group at large. We look forward to continuing to work hand in hand with the government of Botswana through the Department of Broadcasting Services to enrich this relationship and ultimately to enrich the creative industry of this country we are so proud to call home.
We're in partnership with Nielsen, one of the world's leading media measurement companies in the world. For this project, we have partnered to deliver audience measurement survey for the Department of Broadcasting Services. Ultimately, this project would have, or is going to have, a lot of benefits for both the department, the creative industry, the media industry, and the advertising industry in many ways. For the advertising industry, we are going to create a currency for them to be able to buy and sell advertising space for their clients and services. For the creative industry, it's a big deal for them because they'll be able to know the kind of audience that are out there and what the audience want and what they're looking for, and also to know what kind of programs the audience are interested in and looking forward to seeing. So from next year, 2024, we are going to be having those statistics available in the first quarter of 2024.
I could talk about the story of my life and jot it down.
If I drop dead, may it be known I was stabbed by you.
That would be too easy.
Should they sense our desperation, they may offer us peanuts and take our products.
Matilda, let's be optimistic.
Re ka nna jang le tebele pele re latlhegelwa ke kgwebo ke maitsholo a borramodisa a nnang makgapile tsatsi le letsatsi le ba ba neng ba na le thompo mo nnelegang tate ba simolola go sala ga tshosologo.
Where does Nathaniel get all this info?
Well, now that I know that I won't be getting any discounts on Mohadi, can we just get back to business?
I like the way you think, Chris.
The only person fighting is... Oh my God. I am so sorry.
Oh, I don't need any more sorries this morning.
Enough about this. You are talking fake diamonds. Fake. This is a grand idea.
Mama, Batum, you haven't even given me a chance or Ratalos a proposal.
Because it is ridiculous. Use that brilliant brain of yours and return this company to its glorious day the right way. And no more talk about synthetic diamonds.
And that would have never happened if we were compliant. But someone authorized the damn blast without my clearance.
You done renting like a child? LJ. Any recent updates on the accidents at your mines?
Seems as though I have more to lose than you, and you haven't told me everything. You're gonna have to trust me.
What did you do, Chris?
There was this one girl. Why do you act like you're the first woman that's ever been cheated on?
Your arrogance is appalling.
And I am delighted to announce the engagement of Chris Bishop to my beautiful daughter, Bonnie.
Oh, Bonnie, this is my twin brother, Demisang, Bonnie Mudisa.
When are you gonna stop blackmailing me, Chris?
Yeah, man, I can't wait for the actual event, which is bigger and better.
I'm very much excited ka best female. I want to see what ya go zawa ke manka di 16th of December.
Best of luck to everyone who's been nominated.
A shout out to Bomu. Let's catch the Bomu Awards on the 16th of December.
Music Beyond is the future of music. 12th Bomu Music Awards.
Royal Area in Tokwin. This is going to be our venue for the 2023 Bomu Awards.
In the heart of Africa, where untamed wilderness meets vibrant culture, a journey like no other awaits. Welcome to Sonic Journeys, a symphony of travel and culture in Botswana. Prepare to be enchanted, thrilled, and inspired as we take you on an extraordinary expedition through the hidden gems of Botswana. From the endless horizons of the Makgadikgadi to the rhythmic beats of the Basarwa's traditional dance, from the breathtaking Okavango Delta to the majesty of the Chobe River, from the vibrant markets of Maulu to the adrenaline-pumping adventures. Our stage is set and the lineup is electric, with talents from Botswana, Cameroon, Namibia, South Africa, and Zimbabwe. And we are bringing it all to you, live and unfiltered, on digital platforms worldwide. Botswana is calling. Will you answer? Sonic Journeys, a symphony of travel and culture in Botswana.
The project we are about to embark on is quite a very exciting project in which we are in partnership with the Steve Harvey Group. We expect this partnership to yield an ecosystem that in which producers in this country will be able to become world beaters in terms of the work that they are supposed to be doing. We expect this partnership to make Botswana become a significant player in the global film and television industry. Now, under this partnership, local producers and entrepreneurs will benefit from mentorship by experts in this industry from the international perspective, and they will be doing that as well through hands-on work, where we'll be actually be doing productions. This place will become a hub of activity in the next 3 years in terms of work, in terms of training, and in terms of production. And it is expected that at the end of this partnership, Botswana will become an attractive place to other global players who will see this place as a place to come to do work that can be now exported. And we are very excited about this.
We are ready and capable to facilitate the creative industry.
Now, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, that right there is a video that really just speaks to the facilitation of the creative industry project that is being launched here tonight. Now, part of what came out of this video is that the auditorium that has just been refurbished, or Studio 4, that we saw being unveiled today, will actually enable production of high-level content fit for both local and global consumption. Now, the Department of Broadcasting Services saw it fit to engage the services of Steve Harvey Global, represented here tonight by Mr. Steve Harvey himself. Now, tonight I'm in conversation with both His Excellency the President and Mr. Steve Harvey to further unpack this project as well as its significance. Now, at this point, I'd like to invite my guests to join me on set. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, at this point, I'd like you to help me welcome the man passionately at the helm of this project, His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Botswana, Dr. Mokgweetsi Eric Kyabetswe Masisi. May we all rise as he joins me on stage. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. All right. And I'd now like you to help me welcome the President of Steve Harvey Global, American award-winning entertainer, New York Times best-selling author, businessman and philanthropist, as well as a friend and son of our soil, Mr. Steve Mutusi Harvey. Thank you, Mr. I'm doing very well, thank you. Thank you very much for joining me, Your Excellency and Mr. Harvey. And good evening once again.
Good evening.
Really looking forward to our conversation. I think what is very exciting and quite an honor for me is I'm reflecting back on a couple of years ago, I think about 4 years ago, the year 2019, at the University of Botswana Amphitheatre, where we gathered 5,000 young people for a youth town hall. And I'd like to believe this is where we saw the conversation starting as you were unpacking, what I'd like to believe is the development of the orange economy ecosystem. And tonight, I'm really excited to see the progress that has been made thus far, evidenced by the launch of this very project. And let's start with you, Your Excellency. I know this is a project very close to your heart, and being a creative yourself, let's just start with how you're feeling tonight. How would you say you're feeling seeing this project come to fruition?
You know, it's hugely refreshing. It's the culmination of a lot of hard work by a lot of people. And we've also got to take account of the time we were robbed. The globe was robbed. And Botswana, this project too, was robbed of time due to COVID. Because not long after 2019, we were in trouble, where we had to stop movement of persons, find vaccines, literally save people's lives. So this took a back seat. But we are also a democratic country, a transparent, open, accountable country who the leadership listens to its people, right or wrong. And so there were naysayers who doubted the integrity and legitimacy of this project and set about to cause others to believe and doubt the intentions of this. And we gave it time for that to be ventilated. And some of those associated with this too even saw their way to the courts. And all that having been put behind us, we're back. But because we hold elections every 5 years, I feel a little robbed. I feel a little robbed. Because it was the beginning of my term that we conceptualized this when we promised it, and I was crystal clear what we would have gotten. Mm-hmm. We had the budget, the political will, the design, the partnerships, all things were stacked up. But more than anything else, the young people, particularly of Botswana, the creators, were robbed by this inordinate delay. And so towards the end of my term, we're just taking off. So in economics, there's a concept very well known as the opportunity cost that we suffer. What would it have been if we had started this in 2019? How many creatives would we have targeted, succeeded, evacuated to the world? I mean, look at this young guy from Tsabong. I mean, who knows Tsabong? Tsabong is just better than a hamlet. I mean, it's a sandy outback of Botswana. The guy sings. Huh? Yeah, he can do a little makeup, but he sings. He's good.
He's good.
The beats are, they reverberate very well and they're contemporary. But how many such would have been discovered? How many persons in the value chain would have got an opportunity to be discovered and taken to the world? And how much more would Botswana be known? How many jobs would you have created? But listen, hold on. The best is about to happen. I don't give up. I'll never give up. My intentionality is as solid as ever. And thankfully, we've got a wonderful man in Mutusi who also doesn't give up.
Never.
He tusas all the way.
Yeah. Oh, wait.
And so, with this marriage, we're going to work with the energy, fully knowing where we come from and what we've lost. Yeah. So we're going to blow the ceiling. We're going to go beyond the agreement. We're going to realize a value far greater than the monetized value on the contract. And please, bear in mind that not only has this not been done, even in terms of a government doing this, where we've upped the stakes, we've got the best technology money can buy. We've got the best young people, a wonderful team here. And of course, our partner, a global icon, who out of making one statement about our beef, a favor had asked him to make no charge, send shockwaves and reverberated throughout the United States of America the demand for our beef. And so because I'm a beef lover and I'm a beef grower, and many other people in Botswana are, I'm going to ask him to do us another favor later on. I'll make it a little public. It's to do with beef and promoting beef in the United Arab Emirates. There's a reason for that. He lives in the UAE, and just a week or so ago, 2 weeks ago or so, we evacuated our first consignment of the world's finest beef to the UAE. So when you talk about our beef being the best in English and Arabic, they will hear you in the UAE and they will be able to find it. It'll be limited in supply, and the price will speak to differentiating those who get it and those who don't get it until we send the consignment. Our farmers will be happy.
Yeah.
And so this economy.
Yeah.
So back to the creatives. This is an exciting moment. Mixed feelings. I can't wait to get started. And I really feel nostalgic about getting back into what I used to do.
Absolutely, Your Excellency. Of course, we look forward to hearing more from you, but over to you, global icon, our friend Mutusi. Mr. Harvey, I'd like to ask you the same question. What are your thoughts, what are your feelings as you see this project come to fruition?
Well, first of all, after listening to my president over here, I should have got in the beef business. That's probably got to buy me some cows now, but you know, listen, it's been a long time coming. You know, when we first started this conversation, it was a lesson for me, because God's been working with me about trusting in his timing, and that ain't always easy. And I wasn't understanding this one at all. I was going, hey, God, I don't know what you got in mind here, but this is taking a little bit longer than I needed to. And but his timing is different from mine. It always is. He's never given me anything I wanted the moment I asked for it. He's never done that for me. I don't know who gets it that way. He tests my faith every chance he can. And this was just one of those. But I don't know if people understand. He said something, because we talked about this earlier today. Whatever's on our agreement, that's the agreement. What I want to do is more. I always deliver more than, everybody that hires me in the U.S. for TV, they hire me so I can get a number that'll keep them on TV and they'll keep the profits coming in. I deliver hits. I take a regular show and make it a hit. God has given me that. I'm not bragging about me. I'm telling you about God's grace in my life. I make hits. I'm coming here to make a hit. I'm not coming over here because of I want to try something new. I actually love this country. This is my adopted home. This president gave me my name. I don't talk about no other place on this continent like I do Botswana. I don't feel for another place on this continent like I do Botswana. When you all had the problem in COVID and I heard about the problem, I called my friend, the relationship I have with the UAE, and got 7 tons of supplies sent here in the middle of COVID when China wouldn't deliver to us. And I told him, I said, these are my people here. These are my brothers. I love these people. I can't let nothing happen to them. But that's a relationship. Just like I have a relationship with him. You have to have relationships to move things along. People talking about, well, y'all friends. Well, we don't hang out and smoke cigars or nothing. We don't go to each other's house and drink scotch or nothing like that. But we're friends because we share a common bond. I want to help as many black people as I can. His whole country black. He loved his people. I love my people. That made us brothers. That made us friends. And, I hear things, because you all have social media. They friends. He paying him. Now, let me explain something to y'all. No contract I sign over here touches anything I sign over there. It's not the same money. I don't expect it to be. That's not what it's for. This is an act of love and concern for the young people of Botswana. These young people are talented. I've been watching y'all, man. Y'all just need you just need that little thing, man, that I know about because I've been in this. I received a couple of weeks ago the Griot Awards. I won TV Icon Award in the United States for having been on TV 30 years. Nobody has been on TV and had more shows than God has given me in 30 years. Nobody. I don't care who they are. Now, I ain't made the money Oprah made, but as soon as I do, well, you'll know the moment I make the amount of money Oprah made, because you can cut your TV on tomorrow, I ain't gonna be on there, because I'm gonna get my money and I'm gonna go away somewhere. But I'll always be helping young people. This thing is for young people. Old people are old. We worrying about, who gonna wash us when we get old, where we gonna stay, who gonna help take care of us. We planning on retirement and stuff like that. Young people are talking about the future. Young people are talking about 20 years from now, 15 years from now. If we don't pour into these young people and give them some guidance, bring some experts from the U.S. who know the real secrets of this business and share with them on how to do it, we can change things around here. Now, before you all get too, by next summer we're going to do this, this is a long play because you got to put some time into these young people. You're not going to be a great cameraman in 6 months. You're not finna do that. You're not finna be a lighting expert. The people make the most money in Hollywood is lighting people, because lighting is everything. You're not gonna get a lighting contract that big in 6 months. You got to learn it. But I know how to bring the right people over here who can teach it. And as we go on this venture, man, it's just gonna be really exciting for Botswana. When you get a real studio built over here that's very inexpensive to do, and start giving some tax abatements to people to come and film films here and bring TV shows here, it changes your life. The jobs that's available for young people, not only in the creative side of it, but you got to run companies and stuff to operate facilities. It's just a great opportunity, man. I'm really glad that it finally got to this. It took a long time. Y'all's lawyers is, Lord Jesus, these boys is, whew. Y'all got the best lawyers I've ever seen in my life.
They don't play.
I want to just tell y'all, Botswana lawyers is the best I've ever seen. I was so sick of y'all's lawyers.
They don't play, Mr. Harvey.
No, they don't play.
Now, something that you touched on, of course, and with so much emotion when you spoke about it, is your love for Botswana. I'm particularly interested. You're a global icon. We've mentioned this. You could have gone anywhere, chosen any other country to partner with, but you chose Botswana. Why?
Because my heart beat here.
Mm-hmm.
It was different.
It's deep. It's deep.
It was different. It was just different, man. I've been to Ghana, I've been to South Africa, I've been to Kenya, I've been in Northern Africa. It's different when I came here. My heart beat different here. You know, I've been out to Okavango, I've been out to Chichobi, but my heart beat different here, man. I know I'm supposed to be here. You know, I could be anywhere, but I know I'm supposed to be here. A big part of it is this man right here. You know, I met him because of his wife. When we went to De Beers, me and Marjorie, we went to De Beers and we did a panel with his wife. And she was so fascinated with Marjorie, she called her husband and said, "You have to come here to their apartment." Well, I didn't know him, but his wife made him come. Because, you know, wives can do that. You know, I don't know how powerful you are, but your wife is really in charge of you. And I have one. And he came, and we sat down and we talked. And he was supposed to come for 30 minutes, and we ended up talking for hours. And then I came to his office, and then we met. And then the next thing you know, he said, after talking to me, he gave me my African name, which is Matusi, which means helper of people. Absolutely. And how do you get that from somebody after just a few hours of conversation? It's because we connected. He understood in my heart that I wanted to help people. Let me tell you something. I got so much I want to say, but I toured the facility earlier today. And I'm in radio. Matter of fact, I do my radio show from Botswana at 6 o'clock in the morning when I come here. And I went to the old studio, which was analog, and I plugged my system in, which is digital, and I go back and I had the biggest adult contemporary radio show in the United States. I talked to 9.5 million people every morning. So I did the show. I'm leaving, and I had told Oshinka that you all have got to stop having your radio stations analog because you archaic. You got to make it digital. He said, "Steve, I want to show you something." And we toured 4 of the 6 radio stations that you have here, and you have turned them digital. And let me tell you something. You all have top-of-the-line digital radio capability now. That's better than the radio station I got. And I'm really kind of ticked off about that. Because y'all boys that went up here and brought them boys in from the UK, and y'all got radio stuff that I don't even have in my studio. And I'm in America. There's 354 million people, and 9.5 of them listen to me every morning. You all have some stuff around this corner, man, that's so dope, you don't even know. And when I get to these young people and teach them how to be compelling on the radio, see, music, everybody gets the same songs on radio station. What makes a radio station great is the personality. You got to get these young kids to be free, to be compelling on the radio. Don't nobody want to wake up in the morning and listen to nobody boring and dry. You ain't got nothing to say. You ain't told a joke. You ain't tricked nobody. You ain't took a phone call worth a doggone. Just dry radio. Hey, welcome to WTBO. And here's another song. Don't nobody care nothing about that song because these kids can play what they want to play. But if you let these young people be compelling on the radio, you can change the scope of things. And your radio facility here now, what them white boys, what them, what the men from the UK are putting in, I'm sorry. I done got comfortable because I feel like I'm at home right now. So y'all feel like I'm talking to my cousin. So I didn't mean to say that, but they are white though. And so they was in the, and I had a long conversation. They're doing just some incredible stuff. And so I'm really proud of the progress because I thought they were waiting for us to come up with an agreement before they move forward. No, they already reconstructed this place. They've already started digitizing the radio. And they've already put some high 4K digital stuff up there in this booth. That's how you start, man. And I think the commitment to these young people is what it's about. I know I talked a long time, but...
That's what we're here for, after all.
The president, when he talk, I can't say nothing, so I have to
It's amazing how the name Mutusi turned out to be prophetic, because here we are with Mr. Steve Harvey now being our helper. Your Excellency, what do you hope to see when this project comes to a close?
I hope to see the value chains in media unearth themselves But before they do, I hope to see them delineated so that all people who want to access them can choose a path. And there are many, very many. They are well-paying. I want to see standards rise every day of professionalism, of content creation, of product and appeal. And that's measurable. I want to see young people and old people get excited about this project in the private sector. Because this is a government facility, it's really meant to develop talent. And this will also be measured by the number of off-takers from what we start here. One of the very apparent things you'll see, or you ought to see, is the neighborhood changing. The neighborhood of this place ought to change as more people who talk, walk, speak, behave, live differently start managing the space around this facility. And that's enhancement of value. The neighborhood, the standards, the cost of living for those who are here ought to be more affordable as they earn more, but the value of the properties also ought to rise. And, it starts from fashion to foods, to magazine productions, to visitors, to the arts and decor, the landscaping, the kind of mobility you're in, and right down to the things that are associated with the content that people like. And finally, one of my measures of success, because we're in Africa, and it's in the middle of Southern Africa, where we headquarter SADC, and we've signed up to the AFCTA, and Africa has about 1.3, 1.4 billion people speaking hundreds of languages. We'd see the diversity of languages spoken and utilized through media increasing as we access those markets.
Now, Your Excellency, from a policy perspective, do you think the ground is ready for a project like this to yield the expected results?
The gestation period for human beings is 9 months. The gestation period for giraffe is 24 months. It's almost like asking a female pregnant giraffe on the 24th month of pregnancy if it's ready to give birth.
Of course.
We are more than ready. In terms of policy and the articulation of policy, look at the content that we determined would be played on radio in terms of origin. That was adjusted. I think it's around 80-20% local. Look at the fact that we promulgated copyright legislation and we enhanced the capacity of our own SIPA, and even associated with ARIPO, the African Intellectual Property Organization based in Harare, and we capacitated our own intellectual and knowledge experts. We even associated our own with the World Intellectual Property Organization, to the extent that only week before last, we had the Director General of the World Intellectual Property Organization right on our shores, and with specific projects that we're undertaking with them. We have also decided to promote TV. We reconfigured the standard. We traditionally had been using the European standard, which has limited capacity to grow in terms of capacity to broadcast. And we chose the ISBDT, the Brazilian or Japanese standard, which is more affordable and has a greater capacity to be accessed by others. We also put in more capacity. I mean, when we started off, I think, 1 or 2K? We're now at 4K. This is the resolution quality of digital technology in terms of broadcast. And we are on the throes of getting to 5K, Mutusi. We will get there. In terms of technical capacity, even in this organization, there's been a lot of investment in human capital development. And if you look at those who are on the periphery, they've also been growing. So in what we've done, even with Tato Sikwane, otherwise known as DJ Fresh, with the roadshow, we have broadened this in reach. We have enriched it in diversity so that many more people, particularly young people, can join in the bandwagon for this. I think the associated skill sets, which reside mainly in the Ministry of Environment and the Ministry of Youth, in terms of fashion design, will also come in. Because if you took a picture of what BTV looked like, 5-10 years ago, and you took a picture now, it's like night and day. The hairstyles have changed. The makeup has changed.
The hairstyle of
the
makeup.
clothing has changed. The average age has changed. The eloquence, elegance, the fluency in whatever language has changed. The diversity of languages has also changed. We are on a roll, and because we were delayed and we feel guilty, we're just going to press the accelerator. So good things are coming. Arichinchi.
Now, in terms of the value of the project, Your Excellency, are you convinced that it is worth the money being invested in it?
I'm more than convinced. Otherwise, I wouldn't do it. But the proof of the concept is all over. The evidence is a ubiquity everywhere in the world, even around us. I mean, the very existence of Steve Harvey and his organization is proof of that. Ask him. He used to live in a vehicle. Yeah. 3 years. He was so poor, he lived in a vehicle. Yeah. Had nowhere to go. Yeah. Ask him where he lives now. And how he lives. And so it may not happen for everybody to be like him, but this is a game changer. If you look at the rate at which people's lives are transformed in terms of their own individual incomes, media is a very powerful vehicle. If you look at the capacity to be able to converse with people on any idea, whether it's football, whether it's examinations, or music, it's media. If you look at the technology advancements, they have been phenomenal, even since before 2019, or right after 2019. Between 2019 and now, or even take it back 2 years, 3 years. What has SmartBots done to this country? Just imagine. Even the old women are all they don't walk the same anymore. They're all on their phones. Yeah. They're using smartphones all over Botswana. Yeah. Old women and old men. And they're using FaceTime. They are so swavy, it hurts. So we have massive opportunities ahead of us.
Absolutely. The old ladies are walking with a walking stick in one hand and a smartphone in the other. Now, over to you, Mr. Harvey. This project, of course, as His Excellency just mentioned, is expected to yield skills and products that are ready for the market. Are you confident that we'll be able to achieve this from both, of course, your experience and your brand pulling power?
I mean, of course, I'm not going to come here to fail. God don't send me places to fail. He don't put me in a position to fail. It was really funny because I heard something you all had said about me on social media when, NBC came and canceled Little Big Shots at my talk show. And somebody said over here, they've taken his shows. How is he going to help us? Y'all don't know how God works. So what you tripping for? See, you don't even know how God did this thing, right? So they take my show, they give one of my shows to Kelly Clarkson, they give other show to this other white girl. The show crashes and burns. As soon as they give it to her, Little Big Shot's gone. Kelly Clarkson, they're losing money hand over fist on this show. They did what they did, but it cleared the way for me to create Judge Steve. Now, I take Judge Steve, own it completely. I split the money only with ABC. When they get a check, I get a check. When they eat, I eat. I make in 1 month what it took me 35 weeks to make on NBC in both shows. I taped Judge Steve Harvey because I own it in 1 month. God said, I'm going to give you more than you ever had before and cost you less time. Take your wife and go somewhere and have a good time. That's how God worked. So while everybody was in here talking about he failed at this, when God closed the door, walk up the hall. Quit standing there beating on that door. I didn't go down there and beg them white people to ask me, can I have my show back? No. When the door closes, walk up the hall. God got more doors. I just walked up the hallway, and guess what? The Judge Steve door was there, so I walked in. Why would I come here to Botswana and not bring that type of attitude to teach it to young people? How to win in the face of defeat. It's never, like we talked about, I never give up. I've been through too much. What you gonna do to me? You know, people be talking about black Twitter would destroy you. Black Twitter? You familiar with Isaiah 54:17? No weapon formed against me shall prosper. You familiar with that? You familiar with Isaiah 43:1 and 2, that I can walk through the rivers and the fires and will not be swept away? That's why I live my life like that. I teach that to people. These young people over here have a shot. Listen to me. Whatever this cost, if you change 1,000 young people's lives, if you change the direction of 1,000 people, how much is that worth? How many millions is that worth? What's the value that they have to your country when you change 1,000 people's lives? If you change 100, if you make one president out of these people, because somebody here got to be president. If you turn one president out of here, if you make one Steve Harvey out of that probably it's
highly unlikely.
They're taking it too far
right now. That's a bit ambitious.
Let's say you produce 3-4 Steve Harveys. You produce one Oprah Winfrey, one Tyler Perry, just one. Do you know the benefit to your nation? So why you sit here and you fold your arms talking about cost? You have it. You're pumping diamonds. Y'all tripping. Listen, man, you are a nation that is so blessed, but too much focus is on what you don't have. And you fail to look at what you do have. Mm-hmm. Look at these other African nations. Do you realize how many African nations would love to be Botswana? To have the GP that you have, the government that you have, the non-corrupt leadership that you have, the opportunity that you have, the safety factor that you have. That's what you have here. And if you get a president that will invest some of your money towards making a better nation, what are we talking about here? What are we really, really talking about here? It's amazing, man. I sit and I watch people because I have to negotiate deals all the time. My whole life is negotiating deals. I argue with white folks all the time about my value. I got to get in an argument and sit up in a room with them and try to convince them how I'm worth the same amount of money Ryan Seacrest is, or why they got to pay me what they paid Pat Sajak. I got the #1 game show in the world. But I got to argue with them about why I got to make the same thing Pat Sajak made. Pat Sajak ain't got the numbers I got, but I got to argue with these people about that value. Now, I'm smart with my arguing because I got a real simple, you don't pay me, I ain't coming to work. How about that? And so but I'm coming here because this place is right. See, you have a leader that has a vision here. If you keep doing what you've been doing, you're going to keep getting what you've been getting. You got to change something. And you got to change, man. You change with young people. Young people are your change, man. These creative people here, that's your shot. This man right here, I bought this guy along Duncan and his wife, Kayleen. They own a company called Rapid Blue. When I was the first ever American TV star to bring a television show that was a hit in America and produce it on the African continent. That's never been done before. I was the first one. I picked that guy right there. That dude right there. And he made the Family Feud show #1 in South Africa, and I did it in Ghana, and it was the #1 show in Ghana. Why come I make hits? Because I knew what you all were. When all of America, why would you go there, Steve, to waste your time in Africa? It ain't no waste of time. They're my people. I was African before I was American. And I still don't get treated much like American know-how. I'm African for real. It's the only place I come. Listen, man, I wake up in the morning, I don't have to factor in the fact that I'm black when I go outside. I just wake up and go outside and be my black ass self. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say it. I'm sorry. I didn't mean that slipped out.
You had a beep.
That slipped. That slipped. I didn't mean to say it like that.
Mr. Harvey, perhaps that's my cue to chip in. One would say,
stop
of course,
me right now.
One would say, of course, we're being optimistic, and of course, that's great outlook, and that's all well and good. But what could stand in the way of realizing return on investment on this project from a practical perspective or realistic perspective?
Well, see, you're a reporter, so you got to ask this type of stuff.
Absolutely.
It just come down to haters. And no, really, it just come down to haters. See, y'all got a government over here. Y'all got a party, and you got an opposing party. I grew up in America. We got Republicans, we got Democrats. We got the right, we got the left. I'm used to that. But you too small for that. You 2.5 million people. You ain't got time for all this hate. If you got something that can project your young people to a greater future, who can be against that? You got to stop this little Millie Mouse hating so you can win next time. What will you win if you don't take these young people with you? Who gonna vote for you? Because old people ain't gonna be able to vote in a while because they dying. I'm just telling you, man, real. Y'all got to quit this tripping because the only thing can hurt this is hate, pure hate. Whatever y'all call the opposition, I don't even know. I don't know the opposition party. I've never met them. I'm pretty sure they, probably 2 of them in here, but just, I don't know what that is. But we don't have time for that. Why would you stop something that's geared? These are your children. My children, my son's sitting right there. He come over here because he's a creative. I sent this boy to college. He ain't get it. This dude right here, hey man, I appreciate that, but I don't want to do this no more. Because he's creative. He's designed shoes, he's designed jewelry, he does plays, he's created stuff on YouTube. He's a creative. He's me. I couldn't even get mad at him. I went to college and flunked right out. All my sons, every last one of my boys, done went to college and didn't do it because they daddy. Now them girls went to college, all of them got degrees and everything. Them damn boys, no man, they went right up in there. But they good, they just creatives. And creative people don't have to go to college because everybody's not designed for college. Everybody's not designed to work in the government. Everybody can't be a lawyer. I don't even like reading. Why I'm gonna be a lawyer? I can't, everybody's not, education is important. But after that, you got some people that just ain't cut for it. God didn't make everybody go to college. I didn't go to college. I turned out fine. I really did. Now, I messed up along the way. That not having a college education hurt me. Lived in a car for 3 years, but I recovered. You know, prayer, a lot of faith, just more prayer. When my mama was alive, she was praying for me, so I got out of it. But this is for young people, man. I have no doubt that it can work. But haters don't even really bother me because I know what they're designed for. And so I just keep doing my job and I'm just telling y'all, what we're going to do over here will be game-changing. It's not going to happen next week or tomorrow, but the process will start. Somebody asked, why are you all taking this production? Like, we're going to produce, let me just tell you first thing we're going to do. That's a low-hanging fruit. We're going to do Family Feud Botswana. We're going to do a full season. We just talked about it today. we have to shoot it in Johannesburg because you cannot shoot it here. Listen to me. We just don't have the facility yet because you got to have 40-foot high ceilings. This has to be at least 30 more feet wider and a little bit deeper. Now, we made it great for some other shows. The first show we're going to do, just so let me give you an idea what we're doing, Africa's Funniest Home Videos. You got America's Funniest Home Videos? I've been watching y'all on YouTube. Y'all got the funniest stuff I've ever seen. They got them little dance groups over in Ghana. They got these boys in Nigeria that shoot films and stuff. We're going to do an Africa's Funniest Home Videos from right here. It's low budget, it's low cost, it's easy to do, and it becomes something that we can train young people to do first. Then we would take a lot of people from here down to Johannesburg and work on the set and watch how it's done. Eventually, while we're doing that, we're going to be building some stuff up here. Then we're going to bring families. Now, all the families from Botswana, all the families on Family Feud will be from Botswana. So get ready to put your little family on TV. Now, I want to forewarn you. You have to pick 5 family members. That's going to be hard because you really don't have 5 family members that you want to expose on television. So choose carefully, okay? Because we're going to know a lot about your family after that. The next biggest project, and I'm just sharing this with the president now, the ultimate goal is to build a hangar, and he heard me say this earlier. He already told his administration to find the land. We're going to build an aircraft hangar, which is how we shoot a lot of shows in Los Angeles people don't know. You see those curved ceilings and stuff. They're in aircraft hangars. We're going to build an aircraft hangar, and we're going to do Family Feud Africa. This is where we fly in nations from around the continent of Africa. So it'll be a Ghana against Durban. It'll be Uganda against Rwanda. It'll be Botswana against, whatever, Sierra Leone. And the African flags will be going in the air, and we're going to do it nationally and get our DSTV?
DSTV.
D what?
DSTV.
DSTV. Now, that's part of the national satellite on the continent, right? Mm-hmm. You have that national station, yes, but you got to get the license to go global. We're going to get the license, and we will produce Family Feud, the continent of Africa, in Botswana.
Yes.
And everybody got to come here. Look, man, I'm just trying to tell you how to be big. You dig? If I don't know nothing else, I know how to be famous. You want to try me on that? Come down here. I know how to be famous. I'm going to help you get famous, known globally for something that's not being done. And I know Family Feud Global, Family Feud, the continent of Africa, has never been done. And we're going to do those things as low-hanging fruit that we can do now and start producing that can get the eyeballs on your nation. And then as we develop these young people to form careers and stuff, I hope I answered your question. But
you absolutely did, and I'm particularly interested as well in the kind of timelines we're looking at. But perhaps before we get to that, Your Excellency, I'd like to touch on one that Mr. Harvey dived into when we started. Some of your critics, and perhaps this is the reporter in me yet again coming out to play, have accused you of engaging your friends to drive some of your key transformational projects in the country. Could you have done it this effectively without taking that route, first of all? Is it a fair criticism?
Oh, of course it's not. If you want to succeed, it's not normal that you go to your enemy to begin with. And 2, it depends on what the friendship is based on. This friendship is out of national interest. I didn't know Steve, and my wife didn't happen to be talking with Steve's wife because she was my wife, but it's because she was a president's wife. And you've got to be congenial and polite, and when you do, you take advantage of that relationship for national interest. This is in the public interest. And that's why the friendship is also so public. Of course, I mean, at a private level, we do engage, but a lot of the things we talk about in our friendship are about the people of this country and Botswana. Yeah. So I do appreciate the desperation in those who make such criticism. I mean, if I were in the shoes, I probably might cling on to that, but it's not going to work. It's not going to work.
But you know, I don't understand. I guess it's politics, right? I'm not in politics, so I don't get it. Every relationship I have, you become successful with relationships. Your education will never make you successful. It is your relationships. Once you get a degree, it just hangs on the wall. That's all it is. Until you go out here and form relationships, that degree just hanging on the wall. You got to meet somebody that somebody introduces you to give you your first job. Somebody got to make a call on your behalf to give you a shot at something. Those are relationships. I go right back to when COVID hit. If I didn't have a relationship with the president of the UAE, when I found out the dilemma that you all were facing, I picked up the phone and called the ambassador, and he put the president on the phone of UAE. He said, Steve, what's wrong? I said, the country that I love is in trouble, man. They done put an order into China. China won't deliver because they landlocked. They can't get no supplies. 2 days later, this man had 7 tons on 2 carrier jets dropped down here in Botswana. Yeah. That's a relationship. So now what? Mm-hmm. How else does it work? Yeah. It doesn't work anywhere else, man. I think it's, he don't need defending. He speaks very well. He's a very articulate man. But come on, man. I mean, you got to have relationships. You got to have friends. Like he said, it was funny, but to me, you don't cut deals with your enemies. Ain't no enemy finna come to your aid. No, man, we got to have relationships and friendships. The fact that this man took time out to even sit with me speaks volumes for him as a human being. He's the president of a nation. You know, I know who I am, and I ain't all that. Now, come on, president of some nations. This is God putting a lot of grace in my life that I can pick up the phone and talk to rulers of nations. That's God. That ain't Steve Harvey. Listen to me. That's God Almighty. Done put his grace on my life. I don't even know how I got here, really, tell you the truth. I'm sitting on stage with the president of a country. Man, if y'all knew what I did, y'all wouldn't even be listening to me right now. If you knew all the stuff I done really did, y'all would get up and walk up out of here. I'm just glad wasn't no social media around when I was young. Because, boy, let me tell you something, I was doing the most. I was going to hell. Yeah.
Now, I guess when we talk about, the value of friendship, it really speaks to...
I love you because you be going, I don't care what you're talking about. Let me read what's on this card right
I'm trying to say...
I'm trying to tell you. No, sister, you good. Because you holding the line. Because I'm all off course and everything. Because I don't care. I just,
Yeah.
I mean, I care, but
you care deeply. That's something that we know for sure. But, I really just wanted to chip in and say, like, speaking to, the value of friendship, I think speaks to, the saying that your network is your net worth. But in this particular context, your network being a whole nation's net worth. Now, still speaking to the economy, Your Excellency, one of the deliverables of this project is the training of wildlife documentary film producers. How significant would you say this is to the economy?
Well, after diamonds, the next biggest revenue earner is tourism. Most of our tourism is wildlife-based. It's rugged, and we have reserved close to 40% of our land mass for conservation. And we have some of the most spectacular wildlife species on planet Earth. And we have policies and laws that have protected that. That speaks to intentionality. It's a value proposition that we hold far ahead of many nation states. Why would it not make sense to invest in the documentation of such? And why, if we have the best wildlife species in the world, why would you not have the best wildlife photographers in the world? and cinematographers in the world? Why would you not tell the story in multiple languages? And listen, the environment in which these species reside and live is the studio. Who has it better than we do? Who has it as authentic as we do? It's never been touched. It's crisp, clean, waiting to be evacuated to the world at a cost, and that comes to us. Yes, we're going to do it.
Now, Your Excellency, perhaps speak to the beneficiaries of this project, that is the creative sector. How should they position themselves to benefit from this project? And I'm going to ask this to you as well, Mr. Harvey, so you'll just jump on it after His Excellency. Being somebody who's navigated this space and, achieved the level of success globally that you have, but I'll start with you, Your Excellency. Let's speak to the creatives.
The creatives should stay sharp. They must be listening. They must sharpen their hunger, and they must be completely committed to excellence, because it's excellence that puts them in pole position to compete and outdo all the others, in every respect. And they will then be able to develop a product that nobody can resist. They will be able to develop themselves as service providers, as professionals, artisans, that nobody can resist. And I tell you, when the studios, the content creators, the directors, the producers of the world come to find out where to mine the talent, they'll be mining it from here. So watch the space.
Absolutely.
And also, it's imperative that young people understand something. No matter who comes in front of you to teach you how it's done, at the end of the day, it's up to you. If you are not committed to the craft, being a student of the game, and I mean get in there and really pour yourself into it. Look, man, when I was 27 years old and I walked in a comedy club on October 8th, 1985, and I won $50 in a comedy competition, I went to work the next day, October 9th, and quit my job with $50. Because I knew a light bulb went off. This is what I was born to do. I went home and told everybody, and nobody believed me. My mother, my ex-wife, she really didn't believe me, my ex-wife. Thus the term ex-wife. The only person in my family believed in me was my father. I only needed him. And from that day, October 8th, 1985, I have done one thing, committed myself to one thing. I wrote jokes. That's all I did. And that was the tree trunk of the foundation of everything I've become. But I nourished and fertilized that tree trunk, and man, until it had branches. And then that stand-up comedian became a host, a TV star, a philanthropist, an author, a talk show host. It had many branches on this tree, but it started from the commitment of one thing. And if young people take advantage of what we're about to do and make the high-level commitment, then you have a chance of becoming hugely successful. Hugely. But it's up to you. Don't be talking about, no, Steve didn't get me to the top. I can't get you to the top. Don't come in here with that. You said we was going to be able to. Yes, but it's up to you. This is an opportunity. Look, your mother, Neil, may have helped you get to college, but if you didn't study and do the work and get the degree, what was it for? They can help you get to college, but they can't make you do the work. And that's the same thing with the creatives. As the president was saying, you just got to get in there and make that commitment, man. I'm telling you, there's some special people in this country. One of these people will be president one day. The mother that gave birth to this boy or girl, you don't even know that. You could have given, I'm pretty sure President Obama's mother, when he was born, had no idea that he would be the first black president of the United States. I bet you she had no idea. When her African father and her split up and walked away, I bet you they didn't. but he became that. Somebody in here could be the next Oprah Winfrey, the next Tyler Perry, the next Eddie Murphy. You don't know, the next Denzel. He could be sitting in this room. All we got to do is provide the opportunity. And that's what you have here. And that's what you're on the road to doing, man. And I don't know if y'all realize it or not, but that's pretty dope. Because it ain't a whole lot of places providing this. Go around the continent. What is it, 52, 54 countries on the continent? Go around. See who doing what y'all talking about doing.
Yeah.
They doing it in Nigeria, but they got 200 million people, but you can't go over there without getting shot. So, you know, I'm sorry.
Thank you very much, Mr. Harvey. And it turns out that I've been a little insensitive in that I've hogged the conversation. I should have allowed a few questions from the audience. And we've unfortunately run out of time, my distinguished ladies and gentlemen.
You shouldn't have said that.
I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah, you shouldn't have said that. You the TV host. Don't tell them that. Don't tell them
that there was even an opportunity for them to ask.
Yeah, don't even tell them they had a shot at no question. See now, when you gonna go in the back, and you gonna have a problem now.
And I'll be in trouble because they'll be looking at me and something you shouldn't have.
You're trying to be honest. This ain't the time for that.
Thank you, Mr. Harvey.
The training has begun.
And when you think, absolutely, I was just about to say, when you think about it, really, what else could I have done, being surrounded by this kind of wisdom? And I'm really happy to be learning that from you. Going forth, it's something that I now know, that I won't give myself away in this,
No,
in this manner.
Lie. See, you're trying to make it too much. Just lie. Listen, we're out of time. Oh, my God. We're just out of time. And then leave it.
Absolutely. Just leave it there. No, I'm absolutely taking that with me. And thank you so much, for sharing that gem.
You married?
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
A bit married, though.
Huh?
We had this conversation at the UB, Mr. Harvey. And you were actually supposed to get me
I got 2
married.
sons that ain't married
you
either.
were supposed to do that.
You sitting over here kind of fine. You ain't got no husband. I got a son. My oldest boy ain't even here.
I
Sorry
guess
about
that's
that,
my
Mr.
cue
President.
to chip in again, Mr. Harvey. Your Excellency, thank you very much for taking time out this evening. And Mr. Harvey, to really just share this insight and unpack this incredible opportunity that is, this project, the facilitation of the creative industry that we're launching here today. Great insight that came from you, and I'd like to believe, a lot of people have gotten questions answered. If there are any more, I wish I could say you'll get an opportunity to network with His Excellency and Mr. Harvey. I'm doing it again? Thank you very much.
What's the matter with you?
Thank you very much. Let me wrap it up. I'm talking too much. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, may we all rise as we receive His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Botswana, Dr. Eric Masisi, and Mr. Harvey back at their seats. Thank you so much for giving me this incredible honor of having a conversation with you. Thank you, Mr. Harvey.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Peace.
She's chasing us away.
Yeah. I can't go in front of the president.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. You may take your seats. And at this point, I'd like to believe we're wrapping up our program, and we will be taking a vote of thanks from the Assistant Minister of our Ministry of Youth, Sport, Culture and Gender Development, distinguished guests, Honorable Mthemkhulu, Honorable Dumis. Pardon? Oh my goodness! Oh my, thank you very much for doing the honors. Thank you very much, and I'd like to apologize for that. Bagaetsho, a vote of thanks with our Honorable Assistant Minister.
Thank you, the Director of Ceremony. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Botswana, Dr. Eric Masisi, His Honor, the Vice President of the Republic of Botswana, Raitsu Slamba Tswani, our host, Honorable Kabo Moraing, Minister for State President Mem Maitsu Mamoraing, Honorable Assistant Minister Rem Timkulu and Maruna, my sister, my lovely sister, Honorable Beauty Manake, the Permanent Secretary to the President, Mema Emma Peluetiti, the president of Steve Harvey Global, Mr. Steve Harvey, Bagaitsu, Balote Balelangano, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'm avoiding a situation whereby if I'm to continue naming everyone who is here, the one that I'm leaving, I will be in trouble. Let me first thank His Excellency the President, Dr. Mokgweetsi Kabetsu Masisi, for eloquently unpacking this project to the Botswana creative industry. You have truly made this project become alive before our very own eyes. Who doesn't believe the project is unpacked? We all believe, and we believe in our president, very articulative president, very knowledgeable president, very compassionate president. And I wonder why those who are saying the Botswana leadership is corrupt. You know, when we hear of corruption and you raise voices to say we are corrupt, it would be very misleading, Mr. Steve, more so that you are aware we are not corrupt in Botswana. The reason why you are coming here also is that because you believe in us, because you are not a corrupt nation, we don't have corrupt leaders in our country. And to you, Mr. Steve Harvey, thanks for your support, your honest support. We appreciate the love you have for this country, the love you have for these people, the love we have for our young people, the space that you are creating for them to succeed in their lives. We believe their success is the success of this economy, is the success of this country. We really appreciate your presence here, Mr. Harvey. I also want to thank the government of Botswana for the value it has placed on the creative industry and the commitment demonstrated to that effect this evening. Because we are all here, it's a sign of commitment to our lovely young people. We also want to believe that if they see you here, if they see the government here, the government meaning government officials, they will then believe that indeed the right people are at the right positions. So we want to believe your presence here will speak volumes. To believe my gratitude also goes to the Minister of State President for successfully implementing this transformational project, Remurayeng and your staff. It is clear indication, Bagaitsu, of a promise kept. Remember our manifesto. We said exactly what is happening today. We said we are going to create an environment where young people will prove themselves. It's a matter of opening the space for them to fly, to show off their talents. We at the Ministry of Youth, Gender, Sports and Culture, we are looking forward with excitement to the unfolding of this project. We know we are the beneficiaries. If young people are benefiting, we know we are achieving our mandate. So I'm here on behalf of the young people. I'm a big young person. I also want to thank Are you done? Our thanks goes to the private sector, our partners, especially in the film and television industry, who are demonstrating enthusiasm to partner with our government to ensure the growth within the creative industry in Botswana. We need the private sector. The government alone cannot do it in isolation. Your participation in the private sector, it's a big need for our government. Therefore, it's important for you people to look for a space where you can also fit in and assist our government, our lovely government. I want also to thank everyone who have been at the forefront of this project. I thank the Department of Broadcasting Services for organizing this event and also for celebrating with everyone here. Okay. Finally, let me thank you, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, for gracing this occasion. It would not have been successful without your participation. I want to thank you for your attention and thank everyone for coming. Thank you once more.